Hello everyone, my name is Yunus Aksoy and I'm a sophomore in Seven American College. Today I will be talking about a significant book that has been written by a famous poet and a writer, Sandra Sinceros. The book is called The House on the Mango Street. Um, the book is about a girl named Esperanza who is around 13 years old. Um, her family Her family are immigrants from Mexico that are trying to fit in Chicago. So Esperanza uh, tries to learn from the people around her how the society will accept her. But throughout the book, she sees that if she stays as who she is, it will end up better for her. So she decides to leave the Mango Street and she decides to be a writer, such as Sandra Sinceros. So the book is written in a series of vignettes. Vignettes are short pieces written in a poetic language, and and every vignette has its own story. But if we look to the whole book, when the sum of the whole vignettes, they all contribute to the plot in their own ways. So even if they are individually different stories, uh, they contribute to the whole book. Yes. So to give a good example of one of the vignettes, I'm going to analyze the Red Clowns, one of the vignettes in the book. I believe the Red Clowns is a very important vignette because it's short, but it tells a lot of the style of Sandra Sinceros. First of all, this vignette is about the terrible experience Esperanza uh, has had gone through being raped, and this terrible experience was told in this vignette in a really short way. But Sandra Sinceros, having her unique style, used a lot of literary devices to tell us this terrible story. And with this literary devices, we can understand, even though without Esperanza's details, with her use of language, with the sensory devices, with the repetition the author used, we can understand the mood and the scene. So, first of all, in this vignette, Sandra Sinceros used a lot of repetition, such as the word lie has been used many times in this. For example, Sally, you lied. Why you lie to me? You are a liar. In these three sentences, you can see that the word lie or the other forms of it has been used several times because in this vignette, Esperanza's friend Sally leaves her with many boys to have fun with an older boy, and she says to Esperanza, "Wait with the red clowns, and I will be back." But she never comes back. So the boys Sally leaves Esperanza with uh, has sexual intercourse with her without her own will, and it's a terrible experience. And Esperanza tells this to us, and she uses the word lie because she actually wants Sally to come back, but she never comes back to help Esperanza out, and not only to Sally, but she also says liar to the magazines because the magazines show us the world in a different way. Like in the past vignettes, she reads these magazines which show the sexual intercourse in a really beautiful and magnificent way, but she sees that it isn't how it is told. So she actually sees um, the world isn't as childlike as she thought it was. And also another repetition that has been used is the word group "you never came," and this is also about Sally, because she never came back to save Esperanza, and this is a cry for help basically. And these repetitions show us the mood and the set of the vignette and the things that have happened to Esperanza. Another important thing that has been used is the sensory devices. The sensory devices is really important because they draw an image of the set of the vignette. And one of the examples I would like to use from the book is the only his dirty fingernails against my skin, only his sore smell again. So this quote from the book shows us that the experience was really horrific, and the sense of touch and the sense of smell was used in this vignette as a sensory device, and this set draws a better image in the mind of the reader and tells us how the terrible experience Esperanza had. Even though she doesn't tell how it was, we can still understand it by the language Sandra Sinceros uses. And also, as in many vignettes, Sandra Sinceros uses a really simple and the basic language in the Red Clowns. Like the sentences are really short, and also the vignette is really short. It's shorter than most. This is because the author wants us to understand that Esperanza is in a terrible mood and she's feelings and thoughts are all around the place, and she's trying to understand what just happened, and her sentences are short because she's trying to understand and give meaning to the thing that just happened, because after this experience she just lost her childhood, and the author is trying to give us that message by the short sentences and the simple use of language, because this language is childlike, and we can all understand that after this experience Esperanza is not a child anymore in the eyes of the society, and by using the childlike language the writer creates a dilemma between the experience she had, so it gives us a better understanding of the scene. Another thing that Sandra Sinceros used in this vignette is the use of symbols. As in the whole book, the symbol shoe has been used in this vignette as well. The tall and black sport shoes, to be exact. It is the symbol of man being higher than woman in society, and we also feel that in this vignette as well. Like the boys wear tall and black sport shoes and look down to the woman, and that's how it is in the society of Esperanza as well. Like the woman is always lack the strength to look up to men. Yes. So to give some more quotes, I will give another quote, as I stated, from the repetition of "You never came. I waited by the red clowns, just as you said, but you never came. You never came for me." This quote shows the abandonment of Sally for Esperanza, and as I stated many times, because it's a important thing, it's a horrible experience that Esperanza needed to go through, and she felt abandoned, not only from Sally but from the whole society, because there was no one that wanted to stood up for her. And she said, please don't tell it to anyone in the book. And this also creates a dilemma, because she cannot tell it to anyone, but she also wants help. So this shows how the society is in a terrible situation, because even though she wants help, she doesn't want to share this experience with anyone else, because then everyone will look at her in a different way. So to sum it up, Sandra Sinceros uses her unique and brilliant writing style in this short but important vignette, the Red Clowns. Um, she uses a simple language, a childlike language, which we can relate to Esperanza losing her, not losing her childhood, but in the eyes of the society losing her childhood because of the experience, the sexual intercourse she didn't want it. And she uses metaphors, similes, and sensory devices and repetition symbols. There are also many other symbols that I didn't talk about, such as the red clowns, the wheel, whirlwheel. These are all important symbols she used. These are all because even though she uses short sentences and basic language, these are all because to give a better understanding of the story to the reader, to attract the reader to the story, and give a complete understanding of the scene and the mood and the sets of the Esperanza's mindset to the reader. Yeah. So, in conclusion, Sandra Sinceros uses these many literary devices, as I told, to use to tell the reader how the story went, even though she uses the language as simple as she can for every group of age, so that every group of age can understand the book in different levels, of course. But all these things makes us understand, without any details, the mindset of both the author and both the main character of the book, Esperanza. Thanks for listening.